back for another video, and I'm introducing another project. It feels like I'm introducing a lot of projects recently, but the plan is to have kind of 4 or 5 different projects up and running, and then I can just alternate between them as I'm making these videos. But today's project is called the 32 Peak Challenge. For anyone who doesn't know, Ireland is divided up into 32 counties, and the idea is that you climb the highest peak in each of those 32 counties. I have actually started this one before a number of years ago, not as a photographic project, but more just as a hiking challenge. I think I got to 7 or maybe 8 of the peaks done, but then COVID happened, and in Ireland here the restrictions were there was to be no unnecessary inter-county travel, so I kind of had to knock the challenge on the head, and I always meant to go back to it at some stage, but life is, a couple of years have passed and I've never taken the challenge up and started again and tried to finish it out. So that's my hope for 2025, is I'm going to start this challenge again, and I'm going to bring cameras with me and try and document the whole thing, maybe produce some little sort of zine or something at the end. Yeah, so I guess that leads me to today's video. Today I'm hoping to do the first 2 of the peaks. I have done these 2 previously. To be honest, calling them peaks is a bit of an exaggeration. They're pretty easy, these 2. They're only really short strolls. It's not really a whole lot of elevation, so they're quite easy. The one I'm on here now, this is County Kildare. It's called Cupidstown Hill, and this one's, I would say, probably the easiest of the 32. It's just really a short kind of 10-minute, 15-minute walk to get to the trig point, so very easy one. Nice one to start me off. So I guess I should talk about gear. I am hoping to shoot the majority of this project on film, but because I've done these 2 locations before and I know that they're not super interesting, it's not a whole lot of elevation, it's not a whole lot of sights really to photograph, I kind of decided that I wouldn't shoot today on film, just because I didn't think it was really worth wasting film shots, I guess, on these locations and the time that it takes to finish out a roll and develop the shots and scan the shots. So today I've just brought a digital camera with me. It's a bit of a story behind this camera, but this is a Nikon D200. I've had this camera for a while, haven't shot with it a whole lot, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just about 10 minutes maybe into this hike, and I'm already coming up to the trig point. If anyone hasn't been here before, the trail kind of brings you up to this little mast here, and it isn't really all that clear as to where the trig point is, but you need to just travel past this gate, head in around the back of the mast, and the trig point is really pretty unassuming, but it's literally just in behind this site here. Yeah, so you just come up to this TV mast or telecoms mast, I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, not the most picturesque of locations, but you just little track in here to the right of the mast. You head around the back, and there it is. That is the trig point right there. This is the highest point in County Kildare. This is the top of Cupidstown Hill. Again, it's a very easy hike. Only took me really 10 minutes to get up there. No real elevation. Sights are okay. Midlands of Ireland are pretty flat, so yeah, so that's one of 32 done. If only they were all this easy. I've been up here once or twice before. I'm not really sure what this structure is here that's been mounted onto the trig point. I haven't seen that before. Yeah, kind of ruins the photos a little bit, to be honest. Not the most picturesque of little platforms, whatever that is. But I'm just going to grab a couple of shots here. There's nothing really you can do to make this location look all that pretty. I'm just going to take a couple of shots just to document that I was here and to kick off the project. To be honest, when I got this camera, I had no real need for it, if I'm being honest. I've spoken before on this channel about just the cost of film, and especially colour film. It's just so expensive. The price just seems to keep going up and up and up. I'm being honest, I'm not hugely satisfied with my colour work on film. I still think it's something that I really need to work on to improve. I've been shooting mostly black and white film now for a couple of years, and I feel like I'm getting to a place where I'm happy with my black and white work. But colour film, and my colour photography especially, I think it needs a lot of work. And obviously when you're paying so much money for each shot, just that alone, just having that in your head, knowing the cost of each shot that you're taking, I feel like it prohibits me a little bit from experimenting with colour and just taking more and more shots. At the end of the day, the only way really to improve at anything is to keep doing it. So when it's in your head that it's costing you money, it kind of stops you from just taking chances and just taking anything shots of anything you think that looks interesting. And that's why I've kind of been looking for digital alternatives to film. Now, being honest, I don't think digital can replicate the film look. I guess what I'm really looking for is a look from digital that just looks, I guess, natural. A lot of the modern DSLR cameras, or digital cameras should I say, they're very sharp looking. There's a lot of detail in the shots, and I know as photographers, we like to say, we just edit a shot to try and make it look like how we remember the scene. But when I remember a scene, I'm not looking intensely at every blade of grass or at every kind of nook and cranny and every rock. And I just feel like digital camera almost has too much detail in it, which I find just a little bit too much sometimes. I prefer the natural look. I kind of like things to be a little bit softer, I guess, or maybe have a little bit more character. And I guess that's what led me to these early DSLR cameras. I'm not sure what the year this camera came out in, but I would probably say towards the end of the 90s or the early 2000s. It's a 10 megapixel camera, so there's not that huge amount of detail in it. Also with these early DSLR cameras, the manufacturers were trying to tempt people over from film to use their new digital cameras, so they did put some effort into trying to get the digital files to resemble the film look. And definitely you do get punchier colours and just a nicer look, I think, from some of these early DSLR cameras. Peak number 1 done, Cupidstown Hill and County Kildare marked off the list. So I'm just making my way back down to the car now. It's about a 45-minute drive to the next peak, which is County Meath. It's called Slieve Na Calliagh. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But yeah, it's one I've done before. It's pretty easy. Again, it's just a walk. I think you can drive near enough to the top if you want, but there is a lower down car park that I'll hoping on the light. I'll probably stop there, and it's about a 20-minute walk to the top. Yeah, so I'll probably pick this video up once I'm there. So I've made it to peak number 2. It's taken me a little bit longer than I thought to get here. I don't know where everyone does be driving to on a Sunday, but traffic was worse than I thought. So it's taken me about an hour and a quarter to get here, which means I only have 45 minutes of light left. You can just see in the background there, the sun is starting to set. Normally that'd be grand, but when you're shooting with a kind of 20-plus-year-old DSLR camera, it's not ideal, but I'm just going to try and get up here as quick as I can. It's a pretty short hike. It's only like 10 minutes really from the car park. A little bit steep in places, but it's pretty easy, to be honest. I'm just going to try and get up here as quick as I can, grab a few shots. Do have some lovely views of the surrounding landscape. Meath is known as a pretty flat county, so you do get some nice 360 panoramic views up here. Some nice light over on the far landscape. I don't think the sun is going to get below those clouds though. It looks like it's cloud pretty much to the horizon, so I don't think I'm going to get a nice sunset up here. But it's fine. Just here to grab a couple of quick shots, and I'm nearly at the top now as well. So yeah, so here I am. I'm at the peak of Slieve Na Calliagh, peak number 2 of 32. I have been here before. It's a bit of an unusual peak, this one, in that it's actually a prehistoric monument up here. These are old burial tombs, I suppose you'd call them, dating back to thousands and thousands of years, back to prehistoric times. Yeah, this peak is a bit unusual in that because it's a prehistoric burial site, there is no actual trig point to mark what is the highest point. I guess they just didn't want to put in kind of an ugly looking trig point in the middle of what is I guess an important prehistoric burial site. The highest point, I guess, is the top of the cairn here, but there is a couple of signs around asking people not to climb the cairns because they are getting a bit eroded from all the people climbing up them, so I'm going to respect that, and I'm not going to climb up to the top of any of them. Yeah, you can just see here the entrance to one of the tombs. I know it is getting a little bit dark on my video here, but yeah, this is entrance to one of the burial tombs. Hard to really see anything in there, but I'm going to take this stone here as my marker. Here it is, point number 2 done. 2 counties marked off, 30 left to go. That's my 2 peaks done for today. Happy enough with that. It's good to have this project kicked off again. It's been a couple of years I've been wanting to do this, so happy to be getting back stuck into it. And they're probably the 2 easiest hikes of the whole challenge, so it's nice to have them out of the way, but should be getting tougher from here on. Photographically, probably not the best of days. Conditions weren't great. The locations themselves aren't that interesting. To be fair, these 2 locations are close to Dublin, so maybe in the future, when I get to the end of the project, I could maybe come back and try and catch them for a nice sunrise or a nice sunset and try and take some more interesting images, but just happy to have them ticked off the list for now. I'm on my way back down to the car now. As you can see, it's getting pretty dark. But yeah, happy with today's work. Thanks for watching the video, and yeah, I hope to see you in the next one.